Hi, teacher friends. Welcome back to another tech tip for teachers. The last video I made was all about Google Meet Breakout Rooms, which have basically changed my life and been 100% totally amazing. I couldn't ask for more. Except for one little thing, which is before the update came out with the breakout rooms, I was using a breakout room extension, which really didn't work that well, and it made my computer lag, and it wasn't great. But it did have one feature that like Google Meet on its own doesn't have, and I want to continue to use it. And that is a function where you can be in multiple Google Meet windows and mute some meetings and have the sound on for like one meeting at a time. So this is something I use when I am running, well, I will be running simultaneous readers and writers workshop sessions. So I'm going to be kind of bouncing back and forth between 4 Google Meet windows, and I could do that through breakout rooms, but the disadvantage of that is you can't see all the students. So you can't see if someone is talking or, you know, if someone has a question and they want to raise their hand, you won't be able to see that because all you see is the students who are in your the current breakout room that you're in. So let me show you how this extension works so that maybe you can think about how it might work for you and your virtual classroom. Okay, I'm starting all the way from the beginning here by getting the extension first. So it's just called Google Meet Breakout Room Extension. There it is. And I hope it's this first one. Oh, yep, there it is. So when you go to the Chrome Web Store, here it is. It's a purple icon with a B on it for breakout rooms. And it will pretty quickly get added to your Google Chrome browser here. Okay, so here is what it looks like. So if you click that extension, it will open up a window that looks like this, okay? Now that the extension is open and running on my Google Chrome browser, when I open a Google Meet window or a new meeting, so I can just start a brand new meeting. And when I join, you can see the options available to me are different. So if you look down here, there is an additional option here. So it starts with your microphone and camera off. That's just a setting that you can adjust. So here I am, I'm in the meeting, okay? But this is kind of the golden ticket, which is you can turn the sound off. And when you do that, that means you can still talk to this Google Meet room, but they can't talk back to you. You can't hear the things that are going on in there, okay? So now imagine if I have a few of these rooms going. You don't even need to keep this open. Once the extension is installed on Chrome, it will just automatically run, right? Okay, so here, just take a second. Okay, so imagine now I've got 2 groups here, and I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between the 2, right? And I have a few students in each room. Now they can all see me, and because I have these turned off on both, I can't hear things that they are saying back to me, right? So I'll be clear with my students, hey, I can't hear your sound coming to me. If you have a question, raise your hand so that I can talk to you about that. Then another thing you can do is, mute yourself on one meeting and then turn the sound on for your other meetings. So here, I can talk to this first meeting. I can start a provocation. I can ask a question, start a prompt, and I'll say, okay, now you discuss. I'll come back in 5 minutes. Then I can turn off the sound and the mute, and then I can kind of pop over to this meeting. And I can talk to this group, I can hear this group, but I can still see everything else going on in this other Google Meet room, okay? And I find that to be important because if you're having students work independently in a room for any amount of time, it's important to just be present, right? I wouldn't feel comfortable leaving my 3rd grade students in a Google Meet breakout room on their own for 30 minutes. It just doesn't feel right. So doing it this way, having this function where I can turn the sound off of one of the rooms at a time allows me to be able to see, right? Even if I can't hear what's going on in that room, you can still see if someone's talking and their green volume is kind of going, then I know, oh, someone's maybe talking in there and being a distraction. I'm going to pop back over, and then you can mute your original room and go back and say, hey, I can see that you're talking, maybe you should get back to work or whatever you say, reminding language, reinforcing language, something along those lines. Okay, so this Google Meet breakout room extension, remember when you click on it, it will open up this. There's a lot of me here. There are a ton of functions that can happen here, but unfortunately, it's very clunky, and the breakout room functions that Google Meet has upgraded, that they started last week, work so much better. But as I said in the beginning, this is the one thing that I'm going to keep this breakout room extension for this function where I can have 2 meetings open and I can mute one of those meetings so that not only can they not hear what I say, but I can't hear what they say, okay? There are other things that you can do with this and some other, tips and tricks, but that's the one thing that I feel has been really beneficial to my meetings so far, and it's something that I'm going to continue to do. So there you have it. As I said before, the Google Meet breakout rooms are amazing, but it is just missing this one feature. I thought it was really helpful. It's been really helpful to me when I'm running simultaneous meetings and I'm kind of popping back and forth. This is how I was doing breakout rooms before, where I would have multiple meetings going and I would kind of, circle around. I will use the breakout rooms if it's like a turn and talk and I just want to put students in breakout rooms and then bring the whole group back together. The Google Meet update is super helpful to do that. This is more for like longer sessions where I'm leaving students to work for 10 or 15 minutes on their own, right? It gives me the opportunity to keep my eyes on that Google Meet window to see if anything's going on or if someone needs help and I can jump back in really quickly. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful. Please let me know if you have any other questions or need anything else, and I'll talk to you soon.